Hello, good afternoon. Hope everyone is well. Thank you for joining us. First things first, I go through my checks, and also a little apology that this live stream is starting a bit earlier. I hope it hasn't thrown any of you out too much. Reason for it, I'm just going to check that everything is as we want it. Yeah, the reason we're all okay there. The reason that the live stream is starting earlier today, I got an appointment, teacher-parent appointment, so finding out how the boys are getting on, and that's happening in about an hour and a half, 2 hours from now. So I thought, instead of cutting short the live stream, instead of cutting that down, I thought we'd just start it a little bit earlier. So apologies if you do miss a bit of the start of this, and I will apologise again as people tune in. But basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to demonstrate cutting out some of these different animal figures. Oh, we got Sawyer Rob, hello there. And we are indeed live. Thanks for joining us. As I said, thanks for joining us early, because I've had to start things a little bit earlier. I've just noticed as well, just before I go to start cutting out, I've noticed I've missed one little pierce work hole in there. So that's a good start. But other than that, it's all looking good. And, the carpet as well. That explains the early start. Yeah, apologies for the earlier start, but it's, I thought it would be better to start a bit earlier than to cause a bit of a clash. What these are going to be are little, what would you call them? We would call them badges or brooches. I guess that's, yeah. So we're going to make some different badges and brooches. These, I've actually got a few demonstrations coming up. Who else is joining us? Hello, Chris. Hi, I'm glad you've joined us. Have you got the scroll saw going? Is it everything okay now? It's been on our minds. We're a bit concerned that everything is okay. Is everything working out now? Yeah, we'd love an update, because to update everybody else on it, we had a new scroll saw was bought, and a few teething problems. So any update would be great. I hope everything's working, and if not, let us know, and maybe between everybody we'll be able to help out. And also, as I said, I know you're not far away from us. You're always welcome to come in. Another little update is on these ones here, and these are some new scroll saw blades that I bought. It's the Nikwa, it's the reverse tooth, it's the Nikwa Speed reverse tooth blade, but this is number 12. And I had a little play with these earlier on. I'm working on, and I hope it's okay to do this, but I thought one thing that would be nice, and I hope this is okay. I'm asking our friends across the pond here. I've got an idea for a bit of a special July the 4th, Independence Day, is that right? Project. And I had this idea in mind, so I bought them for doing that project. So hopefully you'll all be pleased with that one there. And so we're going to demonstrate that one in one of our videos as well. I'll just check that comment. It was going, I had a day with it, and now it doesn't move. Oh dear, yeah, sounds like something not right with the, it sounds as if you've got motor issues there. As I say, that's the different scroll saws and things like that. That's why we always recommend this one, because it does have that longevity with it. That's a shame. As I said to you before, if you could get in contact with the seller, and if they could explain a little bit about it, the background with the machine, it would be worth finding out. Hopefully we'll find a solution. What we're going to do here, first of all, we're going to demonstrate some of the pierce work, because it's definitely, going back to it, Chris, as well, it's definitely worth persevering, because it's such a lovely machine to work with. It'd be a shame not to be able to get into it. It just makes a mechanical moan. I put it in the garage for now. Okie doke. I mean, as I said, you'd be more than welcome to bring it down to us, and we would have a little look. And if there's anything obvious, if there's anything that we can find on it, we'd be delighted to sort of try and help you out in any way we can. So yeah, we're going to start off, we're going to do the pierce work on these ones, and then we're going to cut them all out, and we're going to show you how we turn them into brooches and badges. So let's get cutting. Apart possibly a motor issue. Yeah, that's exactly, unfortunately, that's exactly what I'm sort of, you know, I'm suspecting as well, is possibly something in the, you know, to do with the motor. But as I said, you are more than welcome to bring it to us. If we can help out in any way, we will do our best. Right, so we're going to start doing some pierce work on this one. And any questions, any thoughts as we go along. In terms of, I hope it's nice where everybody else is. It's a beautiful sunny day here. Fantastic weather at the moment here in West Wales. And the only concern is sometimes when we have it nice like this, later on we get a bit of a wet summer, but fingers crossed it won't be. No, you're more than welcome, Chris. We want to get you up and cutting and away with it. So if you want to come down and we'll have a look at it, and if we can help, and any thoughts, we'd be delighted to try and help you. Here we go then. Let's get cutting. Right, so that's the pierce work done on the butterfly. We've got that little bit on the robin, which I've forgotten to mark out, but we're not going to worry about that too much initially. And then we've got the elephant as well, a little bit of pierce work on that, and then we're cutting the outlines. Other things then, this one here, this top piece of wood with the dolphin and the elephant, that's a piece of mahogany. This one here with the butterfly, the robin and the owl, that's a piece of teak. In the middle, excuse me, we got a piece of oak, and we got a lovely fragrance, lovely perfume in the workshop now, because the bottom layer is what we refer to as juniper, but I know in the US you refer to it as fragrant cedar. I think that's right. So yeah, those are the different layers then that we're working on. I'll have a quick check as well. Sounds like it's getting power, but just won't turn over. Does it have a built-in fan? There we are. So a few thoughts there from the carver on what might be the issue with it. I'm just thinking as well, another idea for you as well, Chris. There's by the Gwyddy Railway in Carmarthen, there's Timberman, and Timberman, they do machine repairs and things like that. Might be worth contacting him. He sells wood as well. If you haven't been there before, probably an interesting visit for yourself, because he's got tools and wood and that sort of thing. Worth having a little look. You could try contacting him and see if he does do repairs, or at least he may have a contact for somebody who might repair a scroll saw like that. So worth possibly trying that out to get you up and running. I'm going to as well, if I later on get a chance, I'm going to show you those number 12 blades, the Nikwa number 12 blade. The reason, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on a thicker project, because there's a couple of reasons I can see the benefit of those. Basically, they're a more aggressive cut, so you have to hold it down more firmly. I'm still preferring our number 9 blades, but when it comes to stack cutting, I can see that it is really useful. I stack cut some maple earlier, and it did do quite a good job. And the other reason with them, yeah, that was the thing, they are wider blades, so the turning circle is a bit wider, so you can't do such fine cuts with it. And it's a little bit bigger, so the pierce holes, it does fit these ones, but I had to check it because it was right on the limit of what it could handle. So here we go, we do the pierce work on the elephant and then start cutting out the other ones. Right, before I continue, we'll just explain a few of the processes, a few of the different ideas as well, and I can see we've got a few comments, and we have a look at those now. Yeah, whenever I'm making things, It may just appear that you're just cutting out and that's what you're doing. But I've always got this sort of inbuilt thought process where I'm thinking about the finished product. And here now, for instance, the way I've drawn that is quite delicate. And I'm thinking, as it's going to be used as a badge or a brooch, there's a potential weakness there. So I'm going to, when I cut that out, I'll probably go and mess it up now, but I'm going to do my best to go to the outside of the line there to leave a little bit more wood and to allow a little bit of extra strength. I was thinking about it, when I marked this out, see, I remarked the trunk to thicken it up, to add more strength, but it didn't obviously register in the same way for the tail. So when I cut that out, I'm just going to allow a little bit more thickness. As well, if you want to do the same process, as soon as I get time, I'll get these templates up on the website, so you're more than welcome to use them. But some of the things we do then, see, we super glue. I know a lot of you will know this, but if you're new here or you're new to scroll sawing, the methods that we use to stack cut, we super glue the layers together. That's the method that we use. You can also use sellotape to stick them together. You can use screws or nails and pin them together. There's no right or wrong way of doing that. This is the way that we just prefer to use, is to use that super glue. We sand the back nice and flat so it's not bouncing around, so it's easier to do. So we do all of those pierce holes and then sand it flat so you don't get those little indents afterwards. And then from there, you know, it's a case of feeding that blade into your pierce work and away you go. Get cutting. Right, let's have a little look for the update. No fan, I don't think. I'll have to visit the wood bloke near the Willey Railway. I haven't been there for ages. Yeah, I would definitely give them a call because certain machines, definitely, they do repair. And they have done, like for instance, our routers, the Trend routers, we've sent them to them and they service and repair them. So I would suggest a phone call to Timberman might be your sort of first port of call. So it's only a thought that that may be a possible solution. So what we're going to do, I'm not going to cut out our robin, I don't think at the moment, because I've missed that pierce work, but I'm going to cut out now these other designs. Right, so that gives us 3 little butterflies. Now, last time I demonstrated doing butterflies, I managed, the bottom 2 layers just don't want to come apart. Yeah, I had a beautiful one in olive wood. And unfortunately, I put it in the vise, and it was, so this is how we'd always learn and see, it was squeezed in there, and there's a beautiful piece of olive wood, and it went, and it split. So, we're going to be a bit more careful when we do these ones. I'll probably end up carving those in a clamp. If I get onto it, what I will do, see, is we just use the clamp, and then we just put a little bit of detail to add to the pierce work that we've done. But, excuse me, a great little item, popular item, popular seller, anything with butterflies, and so simple, you know, in terms of cutting them out, and relatively simple for designing. All we do, design it on a piece of paper. I draw it out, draw a line down the middle, draw the one half, fold the paper, and then replicate it, just as we did in school when we were growing up. Right, we'll go on to the owl and the dolphin. You may have noticed as well some of the, may come across as slightly unusual, where I cut down here and then reversed and went back over it all. It's basically, if I carry on cutting all the way round, which I'd often do, once you've freed it from the solid, you can't hold it then to cut the 3 layers evenly all together. Have I missed anything? Hello there, Rustic Woody. Thanks for joining us. Joined late, sorry, walking the dog. No, it's my fault. I've started the live stream a lot earlier than I normally would, because I got a teacher-parent meeting. Supposed to have a meeting, it's on the phone now apparently, so yeah, I've got to go a little bit earlier for that one there. So I thought, instead of missing out on doing the full live stream, I thought I'd start a little bit earlier, but thank you for joining us. Here we go, we're going to cut out now that owl, and we'll see where we go from there. I'm not sure if it comes across, but one thing I'm trying to do there when I'm cutting out, you're trying to keep everything attached to the solid for as long as you possibly can. So yeah, it just means it makes it easier, because once you free it, those layers come apart, and then it's more difficult on the lower layers to figure out where that line was and then cut it all out. So yeah, it makes life a little bit more tricky. So that is what we're sort of working on in terms of the method. Whenever you're doing stack cutting like that, the longer you can keep those layers together, ideally, as I've done there, you keep them together until the end of the process of cutting out. So from here, we're going to go on to our elephant and our dolphin, and then I'm going to ask Thomas the Woodcarver if he can just do that pierce work hole for us, excuse me, to do the robin. And in fact, I might, let's have a little look. I might just cut that away. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. First of all, before I do anything, I'm going to cut, I'll just check that that is stacked. Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to cut that away and get into just drill that little hole for me. One thing as well, when it comes to stacking it, you'll notice I got a nice big piece of wood as the bottom layers. Makes it easier. You've got more surface area to hold on to. If I was trying to cut out just that elephant on its own, you know, it's ever so, you're close to the blade. It's smaller, so it's more difficult to control. You've got a nice big piece of wood. You can get those hands away from the blade. You can control it far more easily. So even if you're doing very delicate things, so for instance, this is what I was cutting out earlier, part of that project I mentioned, the 4th of July idea that we've got that we're going to demonstrate for you all coming up. They're very delicate things, but because I've got a big enough piece of wood, I can still control it easily. If it's too small, the piece of wood, it becomes far more tricky to control it. Have I missed any? No, I think we're up to date on all the comments. I'm going to cut that one away first of all and hand that on to Dad, and then I'll cut these two out for you to see. You may be wondering as well, why would I leave that piece on there? But it's the same idea. That might come in useful when it comes to cutting and trying to control what you're cutting out. Dad? I'll see if I can get Thomas the Woodcarver's attention there. 2 seconds. Dad? No, we will carry on cutting. Now, you may be wondering what on earth I was just doing then. And it's basically, I wanted to cut this line, but I'd already cut that. And then I was just looking for a route for how could I get down there. So I had a look, could I come in from there? And it's basically, I'm trying to find the easiest, the quickest and the safest route to cutting all of that out. In the end, what I've decided to do is to not follow my line, to come slightly inside of where I've finished that line there, and then to leave a little bit there so I can just finish that off now, cut that out. Can you drill a hole just between the feet of the... Brilliant, thanks. Yeah, so that's...
Between the legs?
Yes, please. So what we're doing, see, we're finding that quickest, easiest and safest route to cut it all out. So in the end, the solution to what I was doing was to just come inside the line, leave a little bit of wood so it's still attached to the solid, and then go back to it as I'm going to do now, and to cut that little piece of wood away. So that's what we're doing a lot of the time. You're finding the quickest, the safest, the easiest route, thanks Dad, to cutting out whatever you are cutting out. Have we missed any? Let's have a look. No, we're still up to date with all the comments on there by the look of it. Right, so we just finished out cutting this elephant, now we go on to the dolphin.
We've got 1, 2, 3 little elephants.
Okay, so there's a little bit of tidying up just where we've cut there, just a little bit of burning. And you'll have noticed that I was tidying up in there and in there as we're going along. So you're trying to tidy up as much as you can as you sort of proceed with the cutting out. That one's okay. These ones that are stuck together, there's a couple of burn marks, so I'm just going to take those off. So final cut, and hopefully you'll see with this one the advantage of keeping that piece there. We've got something to hold on to. A wider piece of wood just makes life a little bit easier for the cutting out. The starting off then, we'll do that pierce work, and then we will cut the surround. Apologies for obscuring the camera 2 seconds there, but it was the safest way to make sure we got our finished robin out of there. Now, out of all of these items as well, the one that I have the most confidence when it comes to guaranteeing selling really fast, it is the robin. Anything that we make out of wood that's got the robin on, it's yeah, it's mad how quickly these items sell and how successful they are for us. So if you're looking for something to put on different items, if you're looking to make some money out of what you do, a Robin is a great one to get started with. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change over that scroll saw blade before I continue making our badges. I'm going to change over that blade, and I'm just going to show you working with the Nikwa Speed number 12. And over the last week, actually, I've been looking online, and I've actually found the shop in Germany that's the Nikwa Speed shop. So yeah, if you're looking for the scroll saw blades, it's difficult here in the UK now. You can't get a lot of scroll saw blades, especially since Brexit. It isn't straightforward at all for us to get certain blades and things like that. So if you are looking for scroll saw blades, yeah, you can always give me a shout. And if you want the contact for the company itself, then I've managed to track it down. We had some German, we actually had a German family in here, and they helped us out. I gave them the details, and they came back to me with the website from the Nikwa Speed shop. And I was also doing my own research at the same time. And between us, yeah, we managed to track it down, which is fantastic. Now, as you can see, with this one, a thick piece of wood. And this is where, because these, right, the weaknesses of this blade, you can't do sharp turns because it's thicker and it is a more aggressive cut. However, what I found was that it was a very good quality cut and it does the job. But I will just demonstrate working with the number 12 Nikwa Speed blade. what are we talking there? I don't know. I wouldn't mind betting we're well over. We're getting up towards 2 inches of thickness, and that is cutting through that quickly. Bit of sanding on the bottom edge is leaving a little bit of extra work on there. So yeah, there's sort of the thing is though, the speed and the ease that it's cutting through that size of wood, it's a pretty impressive cut. More dust that it does create, but yeah, it's not as precise as you would imagine. It's not as, you know, it hasn't got that fine finish that we get from the number 9. You can feel and see the difference, but for cutting out things like this, that is a fantastic option to consider. I like the nativity. Oh, thank you. So the 12 does very nicely on thicker pieces. Spot on. Yeah. For instance, we would be using it. The one that I got in mind for it is when we're doing clocks. So when you're cutting out to put the clock movement inside, I would suggest that it's a good option for cutting out for clocks inside. But for now, I tell you what, Dad. Do you know where the badge is? Where the brooch clips are? Because if you could grab me a few, that'd be absolutely brilliant. Let's have a little look. I'm just collecting up all the little brooches that we've cut out. I think there's a tin there, dear. There's a tin there. They're in 1 or 2 places. They're over there, or they're in the jewellery tin that Yuli has got. So I'm going to move over onto the workbench, and we're going to show you now how we're going to turn these, how we're going to sort of progress them, move them on from there. Right, I will move that camera as well, for you all to be able to see a bit better. So bear with me while I rearrange the camera, the lights, and get us going again. Okay. Hopefully you won't go and knock the signal out, which we've done a few times. Let's have a little look. Everything seems to be okay there at the moment. And where we need, let's just go down like so. So we've got everything in shot as we need it. All right, just like so. Let's try and get that one to focus on. There we are. Okay, and I just bring that light around just to give us a bit more light, and we'll be back underway. Badges, we don't need no stinking badges. The brooch and things. Yeah, have you got there should be a bag in there. Yep. There we are.
Brooches.
Right. We've got, yeah, brilliant.
The one open? Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, some of the smaller, if you can sort out some of the small ones, and I'll demonstrate. I reckon probably maybe 5. Okay, so all we would do to finish these off, I think maybe I will choose this one, the juniper one. All we would do to finish it off is to just add a little bit of detail. Now, I'm not going to clamp it in the vise because that would be a quick way to go and break it, but we just add some finishing little touches. So we've got the mouth, just like so, and then I'm following the lines that we got on other things. And these are great projects as well for, you know, when you've got little scraps of wood, that sort of thing. So we've been doing our scrap wood challenge.
One there, look, just there. That's that size.
That's
a
perfect.
Small one.
Yeah.
And there's a larger one, but I think it's too big.
Yeah, that's great.
So
Brilliant.
That size there.
That's fantastic. Thanks for that. Yeah, going on to that, actually, our scrap wood challenge at the moment, that's actually, as it stands, that's a dead heat. Did you realise that? We got our first scrap wood challenge was won by the candle holder.
Ah, it's early days.
Which interesting.
It's early days. We got the end of the month to go yet. Early days.
I think it's running out of time, that one.
Yeah, but don't get excited yet. Don't get excited.
Well, we sold one today as well. So we sold one of we've sold the first candle holder. So that was
at last.
at last, yeah, at last we sold one. But the second, our trophy one, that's a very close run thing. That is.
That's neck and neck. Yeah.
That is neck and neck. That is. I do believe it is six votes and 6 votes. So that's a close run thing. But yeah, this.
Going back to that, tell me, you know, because I'm not very good with the computer.
Okay.
Did you by any chance vote for yourself?
I didn't.
Oh.
No, I haven't.
Are you
voted for
sure
myself.
now?
I am sure. I am sure. Yeah. And well, going back to it as well. The next episode, we are gonna continue with the scrap wood challenge, but for our live streamers, you can all know it's being rebranded as the Scroll Saw Challenge. So that's an exclusive. So we're rebranding it under the banner of the Scroll Saw Challenge. Right. So we're just adding a little bit of detail. What do you reckon? Do you think that needs to go on the belt sander? You want to sand the back of it for me and sand him around a little bit, I think. I'll have to keep an eye as well. What time is it?
Time?
I got these appointments, haven't I?
I'll look at the clock now.
He's going to check the clock for me as well. Okay, now this one, I like this one. For me, this was the most fun design, but it's probably got the most carving on it. So what we're going to do, we'll do a couple of stop cuts, just like so. And if you were going to do like the Intarsia type style with this, what I would have done, when I was scroll sawing it, I'd have cut out the wings.
Nearly 10 to 4, dude.
Nearly 10 to 4. There we are. I'm going to be late.
I'm only winding you up.
What is it, 10 to 3? Yesterday I was going round all the day, and it was only when my brother told me that the hour had changed. So it's been a situation where time has been...
No, it's 20 past 3, dude. Near enough, 20 past 3.
You serious?
Yeah.
It's 20 past 3?
Yeah.
Oh, blummin' heck. Oh,
It is 20 past 3, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know whether you're winding me up now or not.
Well, you do have difficulty with time, I know.
Well, anyway, I went round all day yesterday thinking that it was still an hour before it actually was.
Actually, this is showing. This is quite interesting. This one here for everybody.
Okay.
You get this. Can you show everybody that little bit of where the saw?
You call it the arist, don't you?
Yeah, it's a bit of a dilemma because it is quite time consuming. But at the same time, it makes such a nicer job when it's all smooth.
Yeah.
And I think that dolphin could do with a little bit of sanding.
Well, that's what I asked. That's what I asked if you're gonna.
Yeah, but more sanding than perhaps you were thinking. I'll look way around.
Just take a little bit off.
Yeah.
We can always go back over it again, but it's just so everybody can see it finished. So basically, what we're doing, we're just using the hand carving. So that's something we do a lot of, is to use the hand carving skills with using it in sort of combination, hand carving with the scroll sawing, and that's what we always feel gives it a sort of another dimension. So you have that outline. We use, as you know, the scroll sawing in all sorts of different ways, but I always think that it is very effective if you can get the scroll sawing and the hand carving together to create something that a little bit more unique, a little bit different. So we got those two, just like so, for the feet. Just like so, and then what we're going to do is to just carve in and around there, just into the edge. Just like so. And then we'll do the same in and around all the other parts of the design. You may notice as well that I'm having to hold.
Shellac? Want some shellac?
We got some shellac here. Yeah,
I'll give you some shellac now.
I'm all prepared. I got my shellac. There. Yeah, if you just want to shake that one up, shake that shellac and put a bit extra in the pot. So what I will do, we'll shellac and finish off the dolphin, so you'll have at least get to see one of them actually finished. Because that's one thing we always try to do with our live streams, is to actually have a finished product for everyone to see. Excuse my hand going in front of the camera. Right, so after we have carved it all out, then the next thing is to put the little badge on the back. So I got some super glue. So you can see we're just getting that shape together.
It's controversy now, folks. Controversy now. I'm just thinking, this stack cutting, Dave, is so important.
Well, from a business point of view, this allows us to, if you're trying, as we all are, to compete with...
let's just be polite and say...
if you're trying to compete with machinery, with CNC technology, with places where the labour is a lot cheaper.
That's what yeah.
If you're trying to compete with all these things, which a lot of us are, and we definitely are here, the stack cutting, producing several items at once, gives us it gives us a fighting chance.
Because it's still being handmade.
Because we're still making it by hand.
It's not the...
we're designing it.
It's not the CNC that you're going to have.
That's right.
1,000 all the same.
No. There we are.
Mine, I do appreciate some of the CNC work. It is extremely good. I mean,
but the stack cutting definitely gives us an opportunity to be, to a degree, competitive. Right.
We're going to stick that on first.
What we're going to do now, a little spray of our accelerants. And then, which one do you reckon? Do you reckon the bigger one maybe for this? No, it's a bit too big, isn't it?
It's got to be the smaller one. Is that a medium one that you've got? No?
I'm not sure. I think I've got two small ones and a big one.
Ah, there we are then. It's the smaller one. It's got to be.
So, we're going to put a little bit on. We just stick that down, just like so. Just like so. So, just check. Yeah, that is the right way round. And then you've got the shellac.
Yeah, shellac.
There we are.
We're still using that good brush.
Yeah, we got it. We're saving that other one for a special occasion.
Yeah.
There we are. So you just add. It'll be 3 coats of shellac sanding sealer. One little tip as well with using the super glue, or 2 little tips. I've found out. I can't say too much because again, it's an upcoming video. Our super glue that we use, the Starbond, fantastic for lots of different things. It's not waterproof. One thing I found out with it, but for the projects we're doing, it's not important, except for the project that something started falling apart on me. But anyway, yeah, worth knowing. But the other thing as well, always put the super glue on before the shellac because it's a sealant. It's more difficult to get it to then stick. Have you got the exact time? It says it down the bottom right hand corner there.
15:25.
15:25. There we are. We're okay for a little bit. So we got our elephant. We got our elephant item, and that, to be honest with you, I'm not sure that we particularly need. I don't think we particularly need to do any carving to that degree on that one. We'll do a little bit just to separate the trunk, just like so.
Well, the carver says, he cannot agree with anyone referring to a CNC carving as hand carved.
No, I agree. You can't. They do say it.
I did not say the second thing that he says on there, so...
Oh dear. Is he getting into the is he getting into the realms of similar to a Thomas the Woodcarver rant?
Possibly.
Yeah, I know.
I'll just say I've got an Irish name. My mother was reading an Irish novel.
Okie dokie.
I won't say any more.
You are. You're Kerry out of after County Kerry, aren't you?
Yep.
We're not having a Celtic argument, are we?
Oh, definitely not. No.
No, that's all right.
It's only a bit of a tease from the carver.
Oh, that's all right. So it can get feisty between the Celts. Right, so all I'm doing is just take a little bit off, just to add just a little bit of separation between the tail and the body, and the trunk and the body, and then it's the same again. I'm not going to do it on this one because I want to sand that down. So again, what we would do, we would add that little clip just like so, and then I'd just shellac the front for you all to see. So you would shellac that all over, but I will just shellac that front.
Look at the beautiful colours, though, Dave. In that.
Yeah,
in that
and it's a beautiful wood. The fragrance as well is fantastic. Now, same with this one. Which side are we going to go? Right, I'm going to choose a different butterfly.
Need sanding down?
Yeah, they do. But we just demonstrate so it gives you an idea. The robin, again, we will just shellac the face for you all to see. So you've seen the robin one done. You can see as well, that's where we're up to on our owl. And the final one, the butterfly.
Do you want the paper taken off the owl? Or?
You could take a little bit of the paper off there for everyone to see. Yeah, that'd be good.
Show what it looks like that.
Yeah, no problem at all. That's fantastic. Thanks for that. And then the butterfly again. Again, we'll have to do a little bit of sanding. This one, because it's wider at the top, as I said, I came a cropper when I carved one of these in a beautiful, beautiful piece of olive wood, and it was such a nice piece, and I was absolutely gutted because I managed to go and break it, and I was very upset about breaking it because it was such a beautiful piece of wood, and I shouldn't have put it in the vise. I should have either done what I'm doing here now and held it. Anyone as well thinking of having to go with the carving, the reason I'm holding it like this, I would actually normally use a clamp, but for demonstrating it would have been difficult for me to put it in a clamp and get the camera on it. You know, we do recommend anytime you're doing carving is to either have it in a vise or a clamp, but unfortunately it's just a little bit tricky for this particular demonstration. Right, so we got that there, so I always recommend clamping it or using the vise.
I got a bit carried away with the owl.
Oh, what? Where's he gone?
Sorry, Dave.
Thomas the Woodcarver's got a bit aggressive on the belt sander. That's alright, we still got the lines there to mark it out. Again, what I'll do actually, with the owl, we'll put a coat of shellac on it and it'll just give you an idea.
And could I just say to anybody, don't try this at home, please, folks.
What's that? Holding it?
Dave is holding the...
yeah, that's what I just explained exactly that. Always put it in a clamp or use the vise. But this is purely so you can see it. It's a case of do as we say, not as we do on this one, because yeah, we definitely don't recommend holding it in this way whatsoever. But I know if I put that in the vise, there we are. I'm just going to cut that down like so, just like so. And then on both of those, we just put a coat of shellac. So as I've shown you, that's how you just super glue a little badge on the back like so. And then shellac the item. Make sure you put the clip on first. Just a little bit of shellac. I only put it on the front just for everyone to see. Same for the owl. And that is how you can use, and this is a great project for any little odds and ends. You know, little pieces of wood that you've got left over that are scraps from other projects that you're making. So there we go. We got a little robin, we got an elephant, a dolphin, an owl, and a butterfly. All for badges and brooches. And yeah, hopefully interesting, hopefully useful demonstration. Thank you all for joining us. As always, we will have a video on Wednesday. I'll just check to see if I've missed anything. What day is it right now? Scares you, then what's your name? That's another thing. Yeah, get over to, hello Aubrey as well.
Cancer just popping on to say hello. Hi, how are you doing? Hope all is well on the bus. Heart, gentlemen. And I've missed a few comments here. Yeah, if you are as well, if you do get a chance, head over to the Carver's channel, have a little look at some of his different videos. Well worth having a little look. Yeah, and as always, thanks for joining us, and hope you all have a fantastic week. But thank you all again, and we'll be back soon with more videos.